This is the ABQ Business Podcast
with your host, Jason Rigby.
Each week we'll interview visionary business leaders to inspire the creative power and spirit
That's in every entrepreneur.
discussing strengths, weaknesses, strategies, systems,
And the problems we can all solve together.
for a new future for local small business.
Hi, this is Jason Rigby, the Albuquerque Business Podcast. Want to go into the whole situation that we're in right now. I know a lot of you are looking at it and you're saying, what's going on? I don't understand this. I'm watching the news. I know we have a virus that's out there, but how did it get to this point to where my business is at this level? I talked to several business owners today, and especially in the hospitality industry, and they're telling me, I'm a month or two away and I'm done. I could go bankrupt. A lot of people have taken their businesses, small business owners have taken their businesses and dumped their whole life into it. Literally, everything that they had. And in a month or two, they're done. There's nothing that can be done. So I want to talk to you today about leadership. I want to talk to you about leadership in crisis and what we can do. I'm going to reference a book, 7 Lessons for Leadership. We'll get into that a little bit in the book, but I want you to understand that leadership comes from you and you only. As a leader, you have to understand that the people that are underneath you are looking to you for answers. And that responsibility in your business, whether you're a manager and you don't own a company or whether you own a company, whatever it may be, they're looking to you solely for their livelihood. Many of those paychecks that you sign every week and those people that are living from paycheck to paycheck that work for you, they are seriously looking at you now. And I was in the Marine Corps and we learned a lot of leadership. I was in Somalia, Bosnia, and Haiti and gone through those 3 crises. And I know a lot of you've gone through 08, 09 with what happened with the economy then. So there's been some crises. And I know we've all gone through them. And I kind of want to bring some clarity right now to each and every one of us to what we need to do as leaders. And so I want to get a little bit into communication. We have to make sure we're over communicating with our employees. It has to be continually. There needs to be positive reinsurance, and we have to constantly make sure that they feel safe in the environment that they're in. If you're one of the businesses that are closed, communicating with them and letting them understand and know what's going to go on in the future, where you're at, be totally honest with them. If you're a business that's open, or maybe you have employees that are working from home right now, you as a leader have a responsibility to make sure that you're communicating with them daily. There are so many opportunities with the internet to communicate. So it doesn't have to be you pulling everybody into a room and having a briefing, but you can do it online. If you have people that are at home, I know a lot of people are working from home, whether you're in a business right now and maybe you're still with essential personnel. And so maybe you're down 50, 60, 70% for employees, but those people that you have under that you're showing up for, have a meeting with them. Continually communicate daily and listen, learn, and lead. I know there's some things that you're not going to want to hear. Your frustration level is going to be through the roof. You're are going to listen to them and they're going to go on and on and on and talk about all the negative thing. That's what people do. You have to be the positive influence in it. And then you need to get in a mode of learning right now. If you don't have a continuous learning mindset, now is the time. You've got to get out there and be a problem solver. And the only way you're going to do that is learn. I sent an Instagram video the other day on my Instagram story. You cannot control what's going on. You cannot control anything that is happening right now in the world with this virus. Can't control it. But you can control how you react. And I want you guys to know our reaction to this is key to us surviving in this economy and in what is going on. Are you able to lead? And this is going to be the test for you. And I know you can sit there and watch the news and feel sorry for yourself as a leader. You can just binge watch Netflix. I know a lot of people are buying bottles and just drinking every night or eating badly, whatever it is. Or you can step up and say, it is my responsibility as a leader to take these men and women that depend on me and me to guide them and lead them in the direction that they need to go. And I want you guys to understand, you've got to navigate the course correctly. You've got to do it with flexibility and in real time. And you need to anticipate what is going on. You have got to be the one that predicts what's going to lie ahead for your business. You cannot just be reactive. Come up with a game plan. I said today with people, and we went over what we're going to do in our marketing strategy. What are we going to do to move the business forward in this time? How are we going to pivot? And I let them talk and I let them come up with ideas. I had a plan. I had worked it out. I spent a lot of hours on it. We adopted my plan and I changed some things and we pivoted to go with the sensitivity of the message that we need to produce for our business. If you're a restaurant out there and you're barely hanging on and you're open, you need to have somebody that has sales experience, a friend or family or somebody or you or that gets on the phone and is telling these businesses, calling them up and saying, what are you doing for lunch? Can I deliver food to you? Can you support local business? I would love to be able to have lunch delivered to you in your business. What essential businesses are open up that need lunches? How many lunches do you need that's over $100 so that you can support the small staff that you have left in your restaurant to keep it going so that you can break even for the month? You've got to start being proactive. We all do. We've got to navigate the course right. We've got to communicate continually. We've got to listen, learn, and then we need to improve ourselves in our leadership, and we need to begin to elevate others. It is so important. And I want to get into this book that I written a while ago. It's by Bill George. It's called The 7 Lessons for Leading in Crisis. And so the 7 lessons are this, and we're going to get into each one. Face reality, starting with yourself. That's the first lesson we need to learn. Number 2 is get the world off your shoulders. Number 3 is dig deep for the root cause. Number 4 is get ready for the long haul. Number 5 is never waste a good crisis. I love that. We're going to get into that one. Number 6 is you're in the spotlight, follow true north. And then my favorite out of them all is the last one, the 7th lesson, is to go on offense and focus on winning now. So I want to get into these with you, these 7 leading principles, and I'm going to ask some questions, and I want you to take the time to really understand them. So the first lesson is face reality, starting with yourself. That's the lesson. Face reality. Like I said, we can't change reality. We can change how we deal with it, how we lead in it. Everything's changed. There's a whole new reality right now in the world. The way that you used to do business is not the real reality. Get that out of your head and understand you're navigating a whole new chessboard. And you're the leader, and how are you going to do that? I remember in the Marine Corps, in situations we would have to divert, whether we're in a helicopter or whatever it may be, a Humvee. If we have fire that's in one area, let's move 20, 30, 40 feet and get into a clean and clear LZ. You have to understand, you have to be flexible in the reality that you're facing. And how do we start with ourselves? 1, we need to make sure that we're eating right, that we're exercising, that we're keeping ourselves good. Get out and get some fresh air. Go for a walk. You can walk. You can go for a hike. We have mountains here in Albuquerque. We have roads you can walk on. Whatever it is, get out and make sure you're getting some fresh air and think for 30, 45 minutes. You've got to think. You've got to open your mind. Those ideas will come to you. That's why you're an entrepreneur in the first place. So you've got to start with yourself first. And I want to ask you, what was the biggest challenge that you've ever faced in your life? What did you learn for it? And how did you overcome it? And what did you learn about yourself in that crisis? These answers are going to help you decide what you need to do right now in the situation that you're facing. And I want to understand this with you guys. When the ugly truth is out there, like we have a month less and I'm going bankrupt, I can't open my restaurant, I'm down to 50% of my staff, I have to let people go, have all my staff and my business is open, but I have no customers. That's the ugly truth. So how am I going to lead in that and how am I going to treat others in the process? That is true leadership. You have to understand to be a better leader, you've got to face the reality that's there and you've got to recognize your role in charge, the man, the woman that's in this crisis. I want to get into lesson number 2. And like I said, this is a great book. You can download it on Amazon and read it. Lesson number 2, don't be Atlas. Get the world off of your shoulders. Guys, you're 100% responsible to lead your people. Stop worrying about what's going on in the other parts of the world. Yeah, if you want to get the information, the news or whatever, that's fine. But sitting there binge watching the news is not going to help you lead your people. Being fearful is not going to help you lead your people. If you take all the problems on your shoulders and you don't rely on others that are around you that are willing to take the burden, you've got to have teamwork. I see so many entrepreneurs, so many business leaders that turn around and they like, oh, I'm in crisis mode. I've got to handle this all. Don't get near me. Let me do this. I'm going to do this. I got this. I got this. And then it's like, you don't want to trust anyone. When the shit hits the fan, you've got to have teamwork. When I was in the Marine Corps, when the shit hit the fan, I guarantee you one thing. If I'm not dependent on the person next to me or the person next to me or the person that's next to them, guess what? Someone's going to die. It's time you start relying on others. Give them responsibility. Give them duties. In this new reality, how can we do this? What do we need to do? How can we be proactive to get customers? And then you need to self-assess yourself and find out when you were in your largest crisis before in the past, why was it so difficult to turn to others for help? Ask yourself that question. You've got to, I'm so big on self-awareness. I'm always constantly asking myself these questions. And I encourage you the same. And I post it all the time about self-awareness. And this is the perfect time to do that. And then I want you to think in a positive time when you turn to your team for help and then how they helped you. I want you to think about that. Or was there any point in life where you know people had your back and you went through a crisis and other people helped you and you could not have done it without them? And I want you to get that feeling and that emotion. And I want you to say, we can do that here and now. And how are we going to do it? Resilience, guys. Huge word. You have to build and maintain that inside of yourself. And how are you going to do that? How do you maintain resilience? How do you build? Now more than ever, listen to podcasts. Listen to some positive stuff out there. Stop, like I said, getting on Fox News or MSNBC or CNN is not going to help you lead your people. All it's going to do is cause you to worry about what's going on in Italy, what's going on in China, what's going on in Washington State. What is this? What is that? That's not going to help you guys. At the end of the day, you have people that are looking for you. They're dying for leadership to help you. So don't be the Atlas. Get the world off your shoulders and focus on what you need to do to be a better leader, to help others, and to help yourself internally and externally. Number 3 on the lessons from this book is get to the root cause. We mistake symptoms for the problem when really the outcome was because of the root cause that led to the mistake. And I hope you understand this. How many times have we died on a hill that was the wrong hill? You've got to get your people together. You've got to have meetings, whether it's online with video or whatever it is, and say, what is the root cause here? Let's describe what's going on. Let's all agree what is happening. And then as a team together, We've described the root cause. That's the true problem. This is the outcome. How can we fix it in our business specifically? And you start brainstorming. You've got to get to the point to where you accept this challenge that is currently in front of you and ultra clear on the steps that you have to uncover this root cause of the problems that are inside of you. And they're not just inside of you, they're inside of every single employee that you have, and they're inside of every situation that you're going to have to overcome in your business now. You can fold, you can go in the corner, and you can cry and feel sorry for yourself. Go do that right now. And then you come from that and you say, I have a responsibility to others. When I was in the Marine Corps, that would be the worst thing that you would do is go hide somewhere. Take your gun and run away and go hide and just cry. I have a responsibility of my team to make sure that I'm at 100% for them. And I have to be at 110% for them because it's not only my life that is in danger, but it's the lives of those that are around me. Are you looking at the tip of the iceberg, or do you think that you have a grasp on the whole situation? We've all seen that meme where it shows the iceberg and it shows the tip, and then underneath the water is this massive, huge. You've got to know that. That's what we're facing right now, guys. You've got to be able to analyze the problem. And you have mentors, you have people in the past that have helped you. You know people that are specialists in certain areas right now in your phone that you could call and help you analyze this problem and say, hey, I need help here. I don't need anything. I don't need money or any of that. I need your advice. Here's what I'm facing. Here's what I figured out. Can I ask you a few questions? I've written this all down. Can I spend 10, 15, 20 minutes with you and get your advice on this? We all have people we can do that on our phones with right now. And then lastly, how can you use your team effectively to ensure you're getting to the root cause? You're getting to the full iceberg, not just what you see, but what has to happen. And then that leads me to lesson number 3, which I said is get to the root cause. You've got to learn from the experiences that you've experienced in the past. You've gone through all this before. We've all gone through something that almost devastated us. Get to the root cause, become a better leader, rely on others, rely on your team, rely on mentors that you've worked with. And I guarantee you, you're going to have an amazing outcome and a positive outlook on it. Lesson number 4, get for the long haul. Have you ever anticipated things might get even worse? Have you ever underestimated anything? Have you ever said, "Oh, the situation's not bad"? I heard somebody say, "Oh, this situation's not bad. We'll be open in a week." You don't know that. I've heard July, August, 18 months. I don't care. I'm going to take worst case scenario and how can my business survive off of that? What do I need to do to survive right now? How much do I need monthly to survive? Where do I need to get to the point right now where I have a game plan? How can I market? How can I get on the phones? Who do I need to call? You cannot underestimate how bad the situation can be. How many times have you done that? I want you to think in your past when you thought something wasn't as bad as it was going to be, and then in turn it bit you in the ass, and guess what happened? You knew you underestimated it, and you didn't take it as serious as you should, and in turn, not only did you suffer, but the people around you suffered. You've got to learn from your experiences. That's self-awareness, guys. So in this situation that we're facing now with the coronavirus and everything that's going on with the economy and the news that's coming out, hourly, with your business, what if things get worse? What happens if this crisis gets worse? What are you going to do? That's where you need to plan. That's where you need to go. And then what steps are you going to take to address the situation? Ask your employees, ask your mentors, say, if this goes out to July, August, if this goes out 12, 18 months and we have a slow economy, what can I do? What do you think I should do? That's going to help you tremendously, guys. And I know I'm throwing out a lot of questions, but I want you to understand we think so short term. We're so quick to go through the drive-through and we want everything now. But we have to prepare for the long haul. That's what keeps business sustainable, is being able to look at worst case scenario, long haul, and saying, this is where I need to be for this situation. Lesson number 5, never waste a good crisis. I love this. What business challenge did you have in the past? What long-term effect did it accomplish? What long-term effect did it cause you to reflect and think and change? Go back, think. How did you ever in your life take a crisis and turn it to your advantage? Whether it's personal or whether it's business, you had a crisis in your life and you turned it around to your advantage. Can I tell you something right now? That is your freaking superpower. If you can dissect that out and go through that process of how you turn that crisis to your advantage, that is how you're going to lead your people now. That attitude that you decide to switch, that little switch that happened in your brain, that's what you're going to do now. You did it before, you can do it again. You need to ask yourself, in that process, when I took that crisis and I turned it to my advantage, what did I learn about myself in those experiences? And then in this current situation right now that we're facing, what opportunities does this situation offer for me to take a major advantage on? Like I said, how many restaurants are out there right now that are calling? They've turned into a telemarketer sales, and they're calling every business that's open out there, and they're offering free delivery. They're doing everything that they can do to try to get orders to keep their kitchen open. Maybe you've got one person that's on the phones for 8 hours a day, 6 days a week, and they're just calling. And you're getting order after order, and you're telling people, help support us, support local business. We encourage you. How many employees do you have there? 20? What can I do for you for lunch today? There's so many opportunities that we have out there. How are we going to make these major changes? How are we going to pivot in that direction so that I can take the crisis to my advantage? You did it before, you can do it again. Never waste a good crisis. And then finally, number 6, you're in the spotlight, follow true north. You're in the spotlight, guys. Whatever you feel that your beliefs and principles are that hold you as a human, you need to go in that direction. That's your true north. That's your strengths. What do you believe in? Moralistically, what do you believe in? What principles do you hold to daily? Now's the time to demonstrate that. Write that out so that you can share those with your employees. Those beliefs and principles that you have, that's what's going to get everybody through this. Maybe you're extremely transparent with your clients. Okay, perfect. How can we be extremely transparent with our clients right now? Let's personally take the time to call each and every one and be ultra transparent with them and let them exactly know where we're at. Maybe it's time, every order that you do, you have to deliver it. Maybe every order that you do, you have to get creative with financing because they can't afford you right now. Maybe they can make monthly payments. I don't know. What are your beliefs and principles towards the way that you operate your business? That is what you need to steer. That is your true north. What steps do you need to take to be more open? What steps do you need to take to be straightforward? How transparent can you get with the team that's around you? Because I'm going to tell you something. Every family, every business, every troops, whatever it may be, in the military, whatever it is, the more you get put in a crisis, the more people get closer together. This country is going to be better after we get through this. It is a culture that we display that we are overcomers. It is a culture that we display that no matter what adversity that we have, we always get together and we decide that we're going to fix it, and we fix it and we move forward and we're better for it. That is what this country is built on, and that is what is going to get you through this crisis. You're in the spotlight. Follow your true north. Don't listen to anyone else. You're the leader. You know what has guided you and what direction that has guided you personally. That is what you need to display to others. And that is what you need to let them know that this business was founded on. How many of you have taken your employees right now and sat down together and said, I can remember when I couldn't make payroll. I could remember when we first started out and I almost closed my doors 10 times. And share your story, share the vision, share those moments of crisis to them. Be open, honest. If you get emotional, who cares? That's great. That's fine. That's you being transparent. And then you go into how you overcame that. And you tell them, because of this and this and this is how we became who we are today. This is how this business was founded on, and this is how we're going to overcome this crisis. You're in the spotlight. Follow true north. And I know I've been going for almost a half hour, and I just want to tell you this. Your emotions are going to be going crazy as a leader. Don't allow your emotions to get the best of you. You have got to be positive. You've got to remain positive, and you've got to remain productive. If you're positive, that's going to fuel work. If you get caught up in all the negative and you start acting like everyone else and all you guys are just sitting around watching TV all day long, that does not help you get out of the situation. I was in a business, that's why literally from the owner on down, there was like 20 something employees just sitting there watching the news and feeling sorry for themselves. I know you want to get over this as quickly as possible. We all do. But you've got to face the situation. You've got to manage expectations. You've got to convey honestly how serious it is and the potential impact of this crisis, what is going to happen, and how your business is going to be affected by it. You've got to let everyone know that. We're in the storm right now. The storm will pass, but we're going to have a long and hard battle ahead. And we're not screwing around. How are we going to handle this battle? I need a game plan, guys. There's always a choice to be proactive. Everyone around you is looking for guidance. They're watching you to see how your demeanor is. They want to see how prepared you are, and they want to see how you can handle tough situations. And during these demanding times, you have to have an attitude of work, an attitude of a clear game plan and intention to inspire others and to keep them productive. You have to be fearless. Fear is contagious, guys. Have we not just seen that? What happens when people are feeling scared? They do not work, right? You need to ask them, what is the worst that could happen? And face the reality of the situation with them and then say, we're planning this. Because you know what happens? When you truly understand and face it and you get a clear direction, I hope you guys are feeling this right now, your fears will give way to confidence. Confidence will always win. And in some point, you're going to look and say, I love that I maneuvered through this crisis. Give me another one. It is not smooth sailing all the time, guys. When those storms hit, they're a lighthouse, and those people are looking to you in your leadership as a lighthouse. It is time that you understand that you're put to the test. And these years that we've had smooth sailing, how have you done in your leadership? You have got to get to the point to where you understand that you're going to take responsibility, you're going to act decisively, you're going to practice self-care, and you're going to lead. And you're going to lead your business through this crisis, and you're going to be better for it in the long run. And we're going to learn so much about how we can operate. And I just want to encourage you guys, if you're on social media, if you're on YouTube, if you're on Instagram, if you're on Twitter, follow me. I want to be able to help you. If you have questions, you can DM me. I've been getting a ton of DMs. It's ABQ Jason Rigby. You can go to Twitter. I'm really active on there. Instagram, I'm really active. YouTube, I do post the videos. And then my podcast is everywhere. You can go to Apple. You can go to Google Podcast, Stitcher, wherever you listen to podcasts at. Subscribe to it. Let other people know. I hope I was a blessing to you guys. I'm going to do a couple of these because I want each of us to understand how important leadership is, how important this country is, how important you are as a small business owner, an entrepreneur, and what you can do to accomplish in times of crisis, not only just for you, but for your family, for your friends, for those you influence, for those employees that are depending on you that have families. You do not realize right now the opportunity that you have to lead and to influence. It is so huge. And you can be the one that can change, that change agent. You can bring awareness and a perspective that's positive, that connects other people's to everything that they've ever needed and wanted. Humans have gone through so many crises through the thousands and thousands of years, and all we look for is clarity and focus, and you provide that as a leader. Be accountable to yourself and be accountable to others. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Thank you for joining us on the Albuquerque Business Podcast.
And thanks to our sponsor, RigbyDigital.com.
Make sure to subscribe and share, and go to abqpodcast.com.
Get show notes, resources, and links to everything we talked about today to help you navigate your journey as an entrepreneur
and business owner.